It is hard to believe it, but students have been back in school for well over a month now, and now is around the time that parents may notice if their child is having a difficult time, whether they're struggling to hear their teacher or they're having trouble communicating in class. It's estimated that 10% of school-aged children have a speech-language disorder, and 12% have noise-induced hearing loss. Big numbers right there. Chandra Manning, the Chief Operating Officer for the Jacksonville Speech and Hearing Center, is joining us this morning. Thank you so much for coming on. I know that you and your team work really hard day in and day out in our community. I want to begin with this, Chandra. Let's talk about communication disorders in general. Why is it so important to diagnose them early?
Well, because key developmental things happen in our early ages. So before you even hit elementary school, most of your vocabulary is formed. So identifying those things early, making sure that you have the treatments that you need early, are really what set you up for success in elementary school and then beyond elementary school. So
let's focus on speech-language disorder. That can cause serious problems in the classroom. How does that affect a child's school performance?
Yes, it can. And oftentimes it's missed because it's treated as maybe a behavioral issue, but it can cause isolation, depression, and affect their academics, whether they're receiving the information they need to receive or able to communicate it. So their overall academics are affected.
What are some of the signs that parents should look out for? I know it's not always easy to diagnose this.
It's not, but I would say the number one thing to look for is that they are struggling in some area or another, that there are behavioral issues reported or isolation issues reported.
So if your child has hearing loss and or a speech language delay, how can parents help them succeed? I know that there are resources through your group right here in our community.
Yes, Jacksonville Speech and Hearing Center is one of the organizations that diagnoses and treats those disorders. So the very first step is to get a diagnosis, because that's not something that most children seek before they start school.
Let's also talk about hearing. That's a big thing. If you can't hear your teacher, if you can't hear your classmates, you're gonna have trouble succeeding. What do we do there?
Well, it is very similar. What you're looking for is a diagnosis so that you can treat it, because it is a prescriptive thing that you're looking to treat, very specific sounds so that you get the full signal.
And I know that you sent us some numbers. 22 million Americans have not been treated for hearing loss, for hearing issues. 28 million total have been diagnosed. Those are big numbers.
Those are big numbers, and we estimate there are somewhere around 160,000 children just in our community that are suffering from hearing loss, and many of them are untreated.
All right, so let's talk now about giving back. Obviously, your group has been around for a long time. How long, you may ask? 75 years here in the Jacksonville area, helping students overcome these difficulties. So there's a big party, 75th anniversary coming up. That's right around the corner, just a couple of weeks away. And the money, of course, goes back to the programs. Tell me about that.
Yes, we are excited to be celebrating our 75th year here in Jacksonville, where we started with just 4 children, and we're treating over 5,000 people every year now. Our celebration is on October 20th. It's going to be at the Jessie Ball DuPont Center, and you can find out information about that, as well as all of the services that we provide to our community, on our website.
Sure. And the website, you can Google it, you can search it on your search engine. We're also going to put it on our website, newsforjax.com, and you can see it right there, shcjax.org. Well, thank you so much for what you are doing. I went to speech therapy as a child, so I'm very appreciative of what the men and women of your organization do day in and day out for our local students. And good luck. Enjoy that party as well. 75 years, that's a big feat.
It is, yes. Thank you.
All right.